Army, it's Heidi, founder of the Positive People Army. Happy Monday! Here we go again. We are starting the week off. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. The weather was really great. I know for myself, I'm like a huge gardener. Like I love to garden. My backyard is everything. And it was really nice to kind of get out on Sunday and really kind of dig around and clean the yard up and get it ready. It's like everything's starting to pop. We've had some incredible sunshine. We've had some great rain, and all of this is just leading to massive growth that is happening in my backyard. So this weekend was fantastic. Today, again, here in Toronto, it is amazing. It is sunny. It is gorgeous. It's going to be great again. Good morning, Angie. Lovely to see you. And of course, it's Monday. So what does that mean? It's Motivational Monday. It is time to motivate ourselves and truly get ourselves into the right mindset to take on this week. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was taking charge of your emotions. Taking charge of your emotions. And why I want to talk about this is because there are many people, I am one of them. Sometimes what happens is our day dictates exactly what our emotions are going to be. And what I mean by our day dictates, as in whatever happens throughout the day, different things that occur. What are some of the triggers? What are some of the conversations? What are some of the emotions that are literally leading us in our day? And the thing is, we all know, we talk about it all the time, Army. We constantly talk about how we're supposed to recognize and validate every single emotion. To have a positive life, we have to do that, because the moment we're constantly in denial, if we're not listening to them, if we're ignoring them, if we're smothering them, whatever it is, they're going to keep coming up, and they're going to come out at times when we don't want them to. So we always have to be extremely aware. See, here's the thing. I look at our emotions and the way they kind of pop up throughout the day like a little kid, like a toddler. And you know what I'm talking about with a toddler. If they want to get your attention, what do? They scream, they cry, they take a temper tantrum, they do whatever they can to get your attention. There was a time when my eldest was young. He had this habit to get my attention. He would literally do this. Mommy, 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 mommy. He would just say it over and over again until I was just like, what? You know, it's like that was his way of just like, I need your attention right now. And so I'm going to do that. Guess what, guys? Our emotions do the exact same thing. Whatever we're going through, if something happens, all of a sudden our body does the same thing. Instead of just repeating, mommy, 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 what happens? Maybe your heart races. Maybe you feel sick to your stomach. Maybe you get a headache. Maybe you're doing this with your shoulders and you're getting tense in your shoulders. See, our emotions are getting our attention by triggering different things in our body. Also, they're getting our attention by that reaction that we have that's super quick. You know, that like all of a sudden it's like 0 to 60 and you're really mad. Whatever it is, our emotions are constantly trying to get our attention like a little toddler. And they're not always necessarily the happy emotions. A lot of times they are the frustration, they are the anger, they are the sadness, they are the depression trying to get our emotions. So one of the things we want to make sure that we're doing is we're not letting our emotions take over what we're doing. There's a difference between they take over and having an awareness of it. A massive difference. When you have an awareness of something, you can stop it. You can validate it. Just like when my son was, mommy, 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 I'd be like, yes, Michael, what do you want? See, I'm validating exactly what it is that he wants. He wants my attention. Your emotions want the same thing. So I want to make sure that you're paying attention to them and validating what it is. And you're not letting yourself, what do? We go into that place of worry. And what is worry? Worry is sacrificing your joy today to mourn for something tomorrow or in the future. That's not good. See, there is a perfect example of that emotion that is coming up. So what I want you guys to do is, instead of going into that negative self-talk, and you know that I always call it, that negative cyclone, because what happens is the self-talk goes around, and then it's like, okay, and then it starts again, and it just keeps going and going and going, and all of a sudden you're off in some sort of negative playground with all of your emotions, and they have taken charge of what is happening in that moment in the day. So what you're constantly wanting to do is bring yourself back to that present moment. Validating, go, okay, you know what? I'm upset by the way that person just spoke to me. But instead of reacting, letting my emotions take charge of it, it's like, okay, I'm going to be aware. I'm really upset. So what can I do in this moment to help me in how upset that I'm feeling? I'm going to take a deep breath. Maybe I'm going to walk away for 10 minutes. Maybe I'm going to ask this person, can I have a conversation with you? I need you to know that the way I'm feeling right now is this, and these are the reasons why. Instead, see what I did there? I became aware of the emotion that was happening. And then I took action on it instead of letting it take charge of me. I am validating that child going, mummy, 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 which can be so hard. One of the other things, I want to make sure you guys are doing this week and really listening. When those emotions start, the stress, the anger, the frustration, the sadness, whatever it is, all of those emotions that are trying to take charge, make sure you're not trying to dismiss them or ignore them. And the way we do this is we don't talk about it. We let it fester. Sometimes maybe we use other things to get rid of it. Maybe it's, we're using alcohol. Maybe we're using food. Maybe we're using something. So bring yourself and have some awareness of that. Are you doing that? Are you smothering and denying what you're going through? The last thing I want to talk about is your triggers. Whew, we all have them. I have to tell you, we all have triggers. I have to tell you, one of my triggers is when I'm trying to get somewhere and I'm in the car. And this is for a lot of us. So many of you are totally going to relate to me right now. You're in the car and you're trying to get to a certain location. You only have a certain amount of time, and all of a sudden you're hitting a bit of traffic and things are slowing down. And it's like people are just not they're driving like crazy people. And all of a sudden it's like you start to get that anxious feeling and you become impatient. For me, this is a massive trigger. Anytime something like that happens, when I'm going for an appointment, when I'm going for whatever, and things are starting to slow down. First of all, there is nothing I can do. I cannot control this situation. This is traffic. This is outside of my control. What I can control is my emotions. I can let them not control me. My trigger is that. So you want to know what I do? In that moment where I feel it, I can feel the anxiousness come up. I can feel it. I stop myself and I do a nature scavenger hunt. I'm not lying to you. I start to do a nature scavenger hunt, which is I'm going to look for 5 beautiful, amazing things. And so it's, oh my gosh, look at that cute little puppy walking down the street. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that tree. It's starting to bud already. Oh my goodness. They finally finished the construction on this road. Whatever it is, I come up with, I distract myself. I'm aware of the emotion coming up, and I'm not letting the emotion control me. I am now going to control this situation. And what is happening? I've become aware of my triggers, and we all have them. You know those triggers with our kids? Sometimes disrespect. Whoo, there's a massive trigger for people. People, I want you to really think about when things are happening. Is this reality, or is this something that you are making up in your head? Okay? So for instance, I yell down the stairs, boys, take out your garbage in your bathroom. I tell them to do it. It doesn't get done right away. I'm like, hey boys, empty your garbage. I want that garbage emptied. You know what? I have yelled something down to them. They may have been in the middle of something. I don't know what it is, and they didn't do it. But automatically what happens? We feel our brain starts to concoct something that doesn't exist. We tell ourselves they are disrespecting me. They're disrespecting me, and then what happens? You get mad. It's a trigger. See, there's the trigger. But ask yourself, this is a perfect way to really look at your emotions and becoming aware of what is happening. Is it reality, or is it my imagination? And guess what? the majority of the case, it's our imagination. A lot of times the way we're reacting in our emotions is that little kid trying to get our attention, and it concocts and creates and brings up these things that really don't exist. That's not reality. It's not reality. Listen, I asked them to change the garbage, and they will. They may not do it exactly right on my time, but that's okay too. Because as adults, we do the same thing. People ask us to get things done all the time. And we're like, yeah, I'm going to get to it. We may not do it in that moment. We may do it an hour or so later, but we're not doing it an hour or so later to disrespect anyone. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of times our emotions make up these crazy stories in our head that aren't even true. So ask yourself, this is another way of really becoming aware of your emotions and what is truly happening. Ask yourself these questions. So really watch out for those triggers, guys. Those triggers are going to come up, and you can come up with amazing different ways to get yourself through whatever those triggers are. So guys, we have an amazing week ahead of us. Are you going to let your emotions, your toddler inside of you, tell you what to do? Or are you going to become aware of and control your own emotions, bringing yourself into the beautiful present moment? Another great way to snap yourself out of that negative self-talk, bring yourself right to this present moment, take your fingers and pinch right there. Just pinch. This is something I do all the time. Pinch yourself right there, because what happens is your brain, everything goes right to that moment. Don't pinch too hard that you're hurting yourself, but just enough that you're like, I feel that. I'm in the present moment. I am truly in the present moment. Okay, guys, let's do this week. It's Monday. Here we go. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Have a fantastic week. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.